Hi everyone, this is Neil Teixeira, Director of Online Learning for the USC Annenberg School. I'm here to show you some advanced settings within Zoom to make your meetings more secure. Begin by navigating to usc.zoom.us. That's USC's logon page for Zoom. From there, click on Sign In. You'll be asked to authenticate your USC username and password, or if you've already logged in before, you might get taken straight to your USC Zoom profile. From this profile page, navigate to the left-hand side menu and click on Settings. Here, under your meeting settings, scroll down and deselect Join Before Host. This means that none of your participants can join the meeting before you do. Scroll down and make sure that only authenticated users can join meetings is on. This will allow you to restrict whether or not you want everyone to sign into Zoom or through the USC domain for your meetings. Continue scrolling down to make sure that require a password when scheduling new meetings is on, as well as require a new password for instant meetings and require a password for personal meeting IDs. You may be asked to save these settings if you turn them on and they haven't been on before. Scroll down further and make sure that file transfer is off. This prohibits participants from sharing files through the chat where they could send a malicious file. Scroll down again. And where you see screen sharing, you'll probably see all participants can share by default, and only the host can start sharing when someone else is sharing. That's fine. But what I want you to do is turn on Disable Desktop Screen Share for users. This means that even though all participants can share, they have to request permission from the host before they can begin sharing. You as the host will have to accept the request to permit them to share their screen. Scroll down one more and turn off annotation. And right below that, turn off whiteboard. This means that participants will not be able to annotate over your shared screen or the shared screen of others, nor will they be able to share a whiteboard where they can write whatever they wish while sharing their screen. Lastly, scroll down and make sure that Allow Removed Participants to Rejoin is off. This prohibits any participants who are removed from a meeting from rejoining. Now scroll all the way back up to the top and navigate over to Meetings, where we'll edit the meeting settings for the classes that we've already scheduled. Now, if you have an upcoming class meeting, you'll probably see it listed here under Upcoming Meetings. I have a test class called COM 405 that I've created. I'm going to click on that to edit those meetings. Scroll down through your meeting information to the lower right-hand side where you'll see Edit This Meeting. Click on Edit This Meeting. Here, I'm going to turn off Enable Join Before Host. This prohibits attendees from joining before I do as the host. I'm going to make sure Mute Participants upon entry is on. And I'm also going to enable a waiting room. Now, when I enable a waiting room, I'm going to show you what that workflow looks like. So if you're in a Zoom meeting and you have a waiting room available, you can either admit a person directly by admitting them, or you can click See Waiting Room, and you'll see a list of everyone who's in the waiting room. This example that USC provided, there are 2 people in the waiting room, and you can select Admit All, or you can admit or remove individual users before clicking Admit All. Similarly, if you have a small class, you can go through and admit users one by one if you wish. During a meeting, you can always hover over any user that's listed in the Manage Participants panel, click More, and put them in a waiting room, or you can remove them. I'm going to go back to editing my settings. So I have disabled Enable Join Before Host. I have muted participants upon entry. I've created a waiting room for my class session. If you wish, you can also require that only authenticated users can join your meetings. This means that any student or participant or guest lecturer or co-host will have to sign in to Zoom in order to join the session. This is useful if you want to make sure that everyone is signing in and authenticating through Zoom so that you know who they are when they enter the meeting. Once you've set up your meeting settings the way you wish, click Save. Now, go back to Meetings and find any other meetings that you've scheduled. For example, I scheduled a meeting last week that I'll be holding every week, and it's under my previous meetings. And I'll click that course, JOR 435, that I created, another test class, and I'll scroll down and edit this meeting, and again, modify the settings to reflect a more secure class environment. Disabling join before host, making sure mute participants upon entry is on, enable a waiting room. And if you wish, you can restrict authenticated users to being the only ones who can join. Click Save. Make sure that you communicate to any guest speakers and or students if you do select the only authenticated users can join. They will have to log into Zoom through their USC Zoom account or through a personal Zoom account to join your meeting. Having the link will not be sufficient. They will have to log in order to join the meeting. Make sure that you update these meeting settings for every class meeting that you have moving forward. I hope this information was helpful, and I hope you have some more peace of mind as you host and start your class sessions. Thank you.